In the high-stakes world of esports, some teams rise to fame through star power and championships. But there's one team in the R6 scene that has captured hearts without the usual trappings of success. What SSG lacks in accolades, they make up for in camaraderie. These aren't just teammates, they're best friends, and their infectious joy both in and out of the game has earned them a loyal following. But don't let their demeanor fool you. When it comes to the game, SSG's bond translates into a level of trust and coordination few can match. Their attacks are a masterclass in teamwork, producing some of the most entertaining and effective plays in competitive Siege. Recently, at the R6 Manchester Major, SSG put their skills on full display against Bleed Esports. What followed was nothing short of a masterpiece, a dismantling of Bleed's defense that left spectators in awe. In this video, we'll take you inside that match, breaking down the strategies and microplays that led to SSG's dominant victory, and how their strategies can be applied within your own games for easy wins. This is SSG versus Bleed. This video is supported by channel members. Members help me out a ton in making this page financially feasible and get early access to videos, a channel in my Discord where they can help out with making videos, and any behind the scenes content such as interviews. If you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member, and otherwise, have a great day. Bleed begin the game playing with a unique strategy, a basement bunker defense with a twist. They give the entire map to SSG, playing to stop plant using C4s and smokes. This is a very standard defense, which SSG will have seen hundreds of times, so they throw in something extra with the Oryx. By playing with the vault hatch open, Turd can flank from an unexpected position. If SSG decide to try a server take, he's sure to catch some attackers off guard. SSG begin their round by slowly droning out the whole map. They know Bleed are a crafty team and don't want to leave anything to chance, but their thorough clear costs them in time. With about 90 seconds remaining in the round, the attack begins droning the defensive setup. In a moment of vulnerability, Ashen finds himself isolated in lobby. He's spotted on a Valcam, and off the call from his teammate, Turd decides to try and make his play.
Here we go. I mean, he could, but...
We never see this work.
Oh, Ashen does fire out the
He's
phone
on
call.
cams.
Oh, Turd's going to go for it, but no, he's mistimed it.
No.
I mean, the phone call,
Everyone's laughing at him.
he heard the phone call.
The timing is so bad. Ashen gets off drones the moment Turd hops up. He's caught with his gun down, giving the immediate advantage to SSG. Still though, things don't look great. They've been so slow, and now the clock shows just 60 seconds remaining. Bleed's arsenal of smoke grenades and C4s make frontside suicide, but SSG are masters of adaptation. They pivot, abandoning their initial plan to attempt a backside instead. They want to drop elevator and vault with pressure main and a lurk garage in order to plant inside tellers. With such low time, the pressure is immense. SSG have just one shot to get it right, but if there's any team that can do it, it's them.
That is what Bleed need to be worried about. In comes the Grims from Faults, down goes Iconic down the main stairs. Defender trap will give his position away and will be picked up. Asphy is there ready for it. Jane and Owen eliminated Hoven, but how do they get free main stairs? Asphy with another and another triple kill for Asphy. Finally gets tried up by Jane, and oh, the diffuser will be planted to C4 from Reaps. No, misses out on both of them. Will now swing in towards Vault, in towards Cash. Reaps ready, can he see them? No, looks away at the wrong time. His position is known, flashbang, tries to keep him at bay. Reaps now pushing in aggressively, the information. Is there any information? Doesn't look as though they are. They're all watching him right now. Reaps, 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick, but no.
As the dust settles from round 1, Bleed opts for a radical shift. They switch sites to CEO, where Castle and Mira transform the site into an impregnable fortress. Their goal is to lock down Janitor and prevent any execute through the CEO windows. SSG, for their part, bring a pretty typical lineup for this sort of assault. To open up site, they bring the Ace and Kali. The two of them combo to guarantee Kanto, and any castles facing lobby are easily opened up. For clearing out power positions, they have the Ashe and Flores. And finally, they have the Capitao for their execute. SSG's attack is a masterclass in precision. They systematically strip away Bleed's defenses, slowly picking apart every facet of their defense. But Bleed aren't going down without a fight. As pressure continues to mount, the defense recognize they need to relieve some of the pressure. And look at this. Hoven has found a way to create a little bit of space. He's snuck down into garage and gets ready to run out on the player Repel.
When attackers basically open up as much as they can of this map. Canto wall gets open, windows are open and being played. Maybe your square wall gets open, there's pressure on stock. The castle barricades don't get opened as we see Forest miss the Gon 6 because of Warmine Magnet. When all of that happens, it feels very, very claustrophobic as a defender, and you start just sprinting around, trying to find anything, something. Mentalist does get away, but notice how panicked he was, and that's what this map feels like as a defender. This top floor feels like...
Hoven! Oh, out of garage, Callie!
Hoven strikes, finding a crucial pick, but SSG answers back, with Ashen evening the odds from top square. Now, in the 4v4, SSG's Execute activates. Forest shoots Capital bolts, smoking off Banana and Trump, giving Fultz cover to repel in CEO. At the same time, Ashen creeps through Janitor to support. Bleed are pushed back, forced to retreat into Trump and E3. Now, with Forest holding the cross from the windows and Ashen inserted into sight, it seems all but sure they'll secure the round.
He's assumed it's a jump out.
He thinks it's not, that couldn't be me, that's the way that's mine, but massive kill. It means that lobby pressure is no longer there from SSG, but they're already in, they're planting the diffuser as we speak. A great kill from Turd, eliminates Ashen. Asfi though, onto Iconic, brings it in 2v2. Diffuser has also stopped going down. In comes Asfi with the shotgun. Just has to try and play it slow, but no, he's been spotted out. Forest seen where he was. He knows that he's in towards top square, and he can just sit and hold the angle. Let's Asfi can hit a nice shot, but no.
In one last act of desperation, Bleed attempts to turn the tables. But SSG's coordination is flawless, and as Asfi attempts a flank, Forest spots him. The LMG sings, and Asfi falls, sealing the round for SSG. After 2 nail-biting rounds, SSG now find themselves facing off against open area. Bleed set up with a network of rotates, reinforcements, and castle barricades, creating a virtual maze for the attackers. But their setup is so complex, it continues well into the round. As Reaps places his final pieces of utility, he's spotted on a pre-place out of SSG. Immediately, Ashen leaps into action, moving quickly to capitalize on the error. He shoots the castle in the back, securing the advantage for his team. But Bleed's defense runs deep. Janitor stands as a bastion on the top floor. A mute jammer plus these 2 reinforcements keep Hoven from getting shot from CEO, while shotgun holes in the wall allow him to peek any opponent who decides to repel in. He has support from the Valk down below via her C4 in hand and a shotgun in pocket, ready to pump any attackers walking Janny Hall. SSG need to clear him out, but beyond just moving him, they want to establish an even greater advantage for themselves. They easily have the tools to force Hoven back by tossing Yings at the mute while pushing Janny from top square. But that isn't the linchpin in this attack. This round, as Banks so often does, comes down to the lurk. Forest has snuck his way up blue and inserted himself lower square, ready to catch any defenders over-rotating during the mini-execute out of SSG.
And obviously you want to try and get your diffuser down inside of Kitchen as well.
Yeah, and I think the one big thing for Bleed is they're playing from behind a lot at the minute now. You know, it's another problem. They're playing another 4 versus 5. Made that 3 versus 5 as Forest has managed to find the lurk in on that note. And again, the one thing that I will say about Bank is, if you give, as much as it is a huge map, don't get me wrong, he doesn't know. Do they know? Oh. No, he doesn't know.
Beautifully played out of SSG. Forest's lurk finds impact, but it's J9 who really locks it in. Playing off the sound from his dope call, J9 slips into tellers and goes prone behind the desk. This is a masterful way to play his lurk, and by sitting completely still after entering an unexpected position, there's essentially nothing Mentalist can do to counter it. Now, SSG have a convincing advantage, and in the 5v2, they treat the remaining defenders with ample respect, taking their time to slowly constrict the space and choke them out of the round.
It should be quite easy for them. In goes the Candelas, a hatch drop will be coming in from Fultz. He has the diffuser in hand as well. Bulletproof will try and give out some form of information for Aspi, but is not aware that Forest has crept all the way around towards copy window. He will get fault in the dough, but here comes the drop. He finds one, but again, Ashen is still alive with that diffuser, and as long as he can stick that, this should be an unwinnable position for Hoven as he now starts to creep in, and there's the cross from J90.
Psst, don't forget to subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, drop a comment or a like down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bleed are back on basement, but this time, they're switching things up. Last time, their bunker was busted wide open, so now, They start off with an open roam and a blue stairs setup. Their idea is to play a light extension, designed to waste attacker resources in the entry before falling back to site. This will then leave the attack with less util with which to clear out the power position in blue. Everything starts according to plan, as the attack is forced to slow down their entry and engage the extension. But because Bleed forfeit all their space, SSG now have a 1v5 against Reaps, playing in blue. Still, a warden in this position isn't easy to clear. With the shotgun to take advantageous gunfights and the goggles to counter any stuns, simply walking at him is unlikely to end well. Furthermore, nades struggle to do the trick. Since the staircase is large enough, he can simply move away to avoid them. But SSG have an ace up their sleeve. There's one tool that can counter Warden's glasses, Thatcher's EMP grenade. By tossing EMPs at the top and bottom of the stairs, SSG can guarantee Warden's ability gets disabled, allowing them an easy pop flash entry into blue.
It looks like they're going to take it, but that's obviously another option they could do as well.
It's where heroes go to die and villains are made a lot of the time as well. And here we go, as they will start now to move down, and they're going to EMP away.
Genius.
The glasses from the Warden, there we go. Reed's going to be deactivated, in goes the Ying. Oh, excellent. Great clear out from SSG, utilizing the Thatcher, disables the goggles, in goes the Candelas, no hope for Reeves.
With blue stairs secured, SSG now face their final challenge, planting the diffuser. The default spot to plant on a server-side execute is right here beside the server wall, but SSG haven't got the time. Bleed have a whole 20 seconds worth of plant denial, plus a C4 to boot. SSG can't plant default, so Forrest decides to try something else. By tucking himself in behind the bomb, he can successfully avoid any anti-plant aimed at default, but he needs to cross an open room to get there. What can he do? SSG are screwed. There's no way they'll be able to cross to the bomb.
It's all going to be about the execute for SSG. You've got a 5 versus 4, but
Forrest.
how are you going to get the plant?
Oh, Snake.
Forrest is going to snake himself to the bomb chassis. He's going to EMP and try and cover off any sound with the EMP. Plant's going down, 5 versus 4. Do they know? It doesn't look like they do. Red's fired off and Fultz has dropped for the cover as well. Plant will go down. Fultz finds one, but Hoven, Asfi, make it a 3 versus 3. It's all about now, can you retake? Because the hatch control is under SSG, they should be able to shoot the fish in a barrel as this diffuse goes down. Hoven's on it, gets off it. Doesn't find the kill though. Iconic finds that. Just needs to hold the hatch now. Will he find another one from the hatch? He does. This is going to be SSG's round.
SSG are back attacking upstairs, but despite a similar setup out of Bleed, they bring a few different tools designed to better crack open the defense. They've spotted a weak point and intend to exploit it. Asfi is playing an elevator, which is a powerful position that creates a crossfire for attackers at the top of Spiral. In order to attack up the stairs, the offense needs to clear out Asfi, but that's easier said than done. Grenades will mide a counter. Walking upstairs, suicide with the cross. SSG should be stumped, but they think they see another approach. A Capitao positioned below can shoot fire into elevator up the hatch. This will force Asfi out, which, paired with another attacker holding his escape from outside, essentially guarantees the opener for SSG. There's just one final obstacle. Bleed have accounted for this and reinforced the elevator hatch. So what can they do? Forrest can't open the hatch by himself. But there's other operators who do the trick. Enter J9 on the Hibana. By using her gadget to open a small hole in the hatch, SSG enable their play, and it plays out perfectly.
And he's just trying to get rid of all of this utility going onto the wall, but eventually that will go down, and this is exactly where they want him. Oh, they've reinforced the hatch, and they're going to bring the Hibana to open up the hatch below them, and then fire in the Capitao bolt. He has to go for it, just have to wait for him. Asfi, oh, and they made it so he can't drop either. Just the 2 pellets, and he's going to get burned. Genius! Absolutely genius!
Amazing out of SSG. Now that they've opened things up, they continue to constrict the site. Fultz and Ashen find freebies from the long angles across the map, and in the 5v2, SSG simply keep their cool and execute.
Mounting under Bleed and just crumbling at the seams. They can't do anything against this extremely proficient SSG side on Bank. Flawless round for them.
Bleed are back on their basement defense and decide to try something else once again. SSG have them stumped, so they set up a stall-heavy open extension, aiming again to waste the attacker's time early on before confronting them with Goyo canisters later on. This in turn will make planting an impossibility as the default spot is blocked by the fire. In order to achieve this though, they need to sacrifice their extension into blue, meaning servers is entirely free. SSGs spot the gap and pounce at the opportunity. Forrest works his way in server and secures himself the space. He then begins clearing out Goyos using his Twich drone, completely removing all of the setup stall. This is a stroke of genius out of SSG. By entering alone and making all sorts of noise, Forrest successfully baits the remainder of Bleed away from their extension, opening the way for his team to take the rest of the map uncontested. Bleed don't know what to think, and they're left guessing at where the execute will come. But SSG don't telegraph anything, and waste no time in jumping into action. Their execute is almost identical to their first attack, with players Marble, Vault, and Elevator, all enabled by Ashen lurking Garage. He's one hell of a player, and if Forrest can keep their attention on himself for just a little bit longer, Ashen stands ready to open up the round.
That was more critical than putting down those.
He's missed something, but
yeah. Siege is a utility game with some FPS in it, and yeah, that's a big issue.
Oh, and down he goes, doesn't even get a chance to use them as Ashen is tearing his way in through Gary. Just a strong position if you can get an attacker in that area. Iconic catches Hoven, just plays passive. SSG, a demolition job if I've ever seen one against Bleed right now. A 2v5, again, another 2v5 that Bleed have to go up against. Great drone work in that late game for SSG. Should secure them the round. They know the positions. Reaps opens up onto one, but Mentalist has just appeared, jumping in for a double window. He's got around the back of them now, but no, looks the wrong way. Forrest is right beside him, has no idea.
Blue Stairs is the make or break position on a bank basement defense. Players who play it well win the round for their team, but when they don't, the defense greatly suffers. This round, Ashen is playing blue, and there may not be anyone in the world who's better at playing there than him. Bleed take open early, and Reaps manages to find a freebie onto Iconic, who is caught unaware from the admin hatch. This puts Bleed in a good position, and they quickly move to start clearing out blue. But Ashen stands in their way, and he's set up with Goyo canisters and warden goggles to make this a nightmare for the Bleed attack. Bleed have a plan. They've brought the Blitz specifically to clear this one position. Their idea is to smoke off Ashen's support to send the Blitz through server to fight up the stairs while the rest of the team crunch from top blue. But Ashen is just a monster in this spot, and despite literally all of the util being used to try and clear him, he's sure to find a way to make it hurt.
And now they can execute into the bottom stairs and punish him. Potentially.
Oh, here comes the Blitz.
Yeah.
Oh, C4 though from Ashen. Aspie takes a lot of damage. The shotgun is enough to down the Blitz. But Ashen is worried about everyone else who could be coming in. And oh no, Bleed, this is just falling apart right in front of us. This blue take is causing so many issues. Ashen with another takes out Mentalist. Hungry for more RE.
No.
We are.